I just created a new YouTube channel called Lost 45s of the 60s, and boy, this is gonna be fun. I'm gonna throw a whole bunch of them in. I'm gonna try to get in about 3 or 4 today, and try to get in maybe about 10, maybe 11 over the course of the week. Lost 45s from the 60s. Boy, there's a lot of them. The Chart Busters, one of them. The Chart Busters from Washington D.C. She's the one. Influenced by the Beatles. If you listen closely to She's the One, it sounds a bit like I saw her standing there by the Beatles. The British invasion, the country in the throes of the British invasion. The summer of '64, you had the Beatles doing Hard Day's Night, Dave Clark 5 with Bits and Pieces and Glad All Over, Peter and Gordon, World Without Love, and Nobody I Know, and of course House of the Rising Sun by the Animals would come out, and you got the Chartbusters. They didn't get very high though on Billboard's Hot 100. They made top 40, but it's not a signature hit from the '60s. It is now in the lost and found bin, deep within that bin. But I'm digging it out. Chartbusters, a four-man band. I might have already mentioned that. Washington, D.C. This record, She's the One, was shopped to 20 different record labels before Mutual picked it up. And when they did, it did go up to number 33 on Billboard's Hot 100. Vernon Sandusky, got to talk about him. When the group broke up in 1968, they had gone through some personnel changes before they broke up, but when they split up in 1968, Vernon Sandusky, the lead singer and guitarist of the Chartbusters, he got himself a gig playing guitar in Roy Clark's road band. He played with Roy Clark for 22 years, but before that happened, Chartbusters had their hit. They had several other hits. Well, they weren't hits. They subsequent singles didn't do as well as She's the One. But for several years, they were a house band in a place called Crazy Horse in Washington, D.C. They played there. And another thing about Vernon Sandusky, God, I almost forgot about this. I'm glad I write down notes to keep me prepped up a little bit. Vernon Sandusky was in a band, a rockabilly band in Kansas. It was called Bobby Pop and the Pocats. Now, this is before the Chartbusters were formed. Bobby Pop and the Pocats. How about that for a rockabilly band? Sounds like a cool, hip band. And they were. They toured with Wanda Jackson. Chartbusters. She's the One. Lost 45. Brought to you by Mr. DJ.